We have been in Morocco for a few days now. We had typically Moroccan food and have already visited two beautiful cities. If you haven't seen our previous episode, feel free to check it out. In this video we dive into one of the most impressive old towns we have ever seen, and I really mean it. Walking through Fez feels like stepping back in time 500 years. And yes, we are heading for our first Tesla Supercharger on the African continent.
In this episode, we drive from the blue city of Chefchaouen via small villages to the old royal cities of Meknes and Fes. In our first episode, we reported on our encounter with the Moroccan police.
You know what that is? We get a ticket here in Morocco, our first ticket, 150 dirham, and this is 15 euro. We drove too fast. It was 60, but I didn't saw that, and we drove, they say, 72. So be careful when you drive in Morocco.
From our European point of view, driving on Moroccan roads is a bit chaotic. And be careful, there are unexpectedly many speed cameras in Morocco. But we must also emphasize that we are extremely enjoying our road trip through Morocco. The roads are generally quite good. Everything is so exciting, and with the many horse carts and donkeys, it sometimes feels like traveling back in time with our Tesla.
Just before Meknes, we pass the Roman ruins Volubilis and head for a campsite to spend the night. We park our Tesla in a parking lot on the edge of the old town. Meknes Medina is large and has many tunnel-like corridors, in which it's easy to lose orientation.
It's really not so easy to find the right way through these narrow streets, but we do our best.
We noticed the many small shops, many tailors, fabric shops, workshops, and also many small food stands and cafes. The Moroccans have fantastic craftsmanship, and many things are lovingly handcrafted.
We use offline maps to navigate through the Medina and back out again. Without that, we would have been lost. After the second turn, you lost your orientation in these narrow corridors. The old royal residence consists of a large construction site, and we decide to leave it out.
So we are very close to Fez. This will be the first supercharger which we are testing. I hope it will work. It's a little bit crazy to drive through the streets because it's really a lot of traffic and crazy traffic.
We are a little bit nervous. The Tesla Superchargers were installed a few months ago. If the supercharger doesn't work in Fez, it would be very difficult to make our fully electric Morocco trip.
I'm very excited. We made it to the first Tesla Supercharger here in Morocco. So now we will go and look if it works. Tesla Supercharger in Morocco Fez. And will it work? Will it work? Wait. We need the green sign. Yes, it's working! It's working! Good job, Tesla. Really good job.
We are totally relieved. Working superchargers are a key factor in our full electric journey. Sure, in Europe the Tesla Superchargers have always worked, but we are in North Africa here, and we can't yet estimate how reliably everything works here. And we don't want to rely only at charging at the campsite. Now we dare to drive even further in Morocco. But first, let's take a look at the famous royal city of Fez.
We have dinner at the campsite and later American mint tea at the reception. Again, we get to know many travelers. Everyone advises us not to visit the huge Medina of Fez without a guide, but guides aren't really our thing, and so we still want to try it on our own.
We are in the old town in the Medina of Fez, and it's so interesting. There is so much to explore here.
The medieval Medina of Fez is the largest pedestrian zone in the world.
Today is Friday, the holiest day of week for Muslims. Some shops are closed and the streets are much less busy than usual.
But just right for us, we can discover a lot and there are still enough shops open to get a good impression.
The streets are very narrow, but it's very interesting.
All the impressions and smells. And by the way, not all are pleasant.
Fez feels like a journey back in time to the Middle Ages. Here at the butcher, for example, you choose the chicken alive and pick it up later, ready to cook. And until the beginning of the 20th century, unbelievers, had to fear for their lives when they dared to enter the city. The Medina of Fes is huge, but thanks to our offline maps, we can easily navigate through the narrow streets without a guide. After a few hours in Fes, our feelings are mixed, wonderfully electrified, but also exhausted from all the impressions. From the parking lot we drive up a hill to get a view of the Medina of Fes from above.
Fes was really very interesting experience. Now we are tired and hungry. Let's get some food.
In the next episode we discover Morocco's nature. After all the many impressions in the lively cities, we need some fresh air. We want to take our Tesla across the Middle Atlas Mountains, to impressive waterfalls and then to Marrakesh.